If you or someone you know is facing a move into assisted living, perhaps they're needing some memory care help, you need to hear about what they do at Rockbridge Oaks. Justin Hicks is joining us this morning to talk about his workplace and what he really considers to be, I'm sure, his second family. Good to see
yes,
you.
It's the most wonderful place to work. I've seen all the communities around the area, and we are the newest community. So we have been open for about 8 months now. And so we have 62 apartments, and we offer both assisted living and memory care.
We've had an opportunity to go out there a few times to Rockbridge Oaks, and I think it's hard for me to remember, to be honest with you, when I'm there, that it is intended to be assisted living and memory care, because it does feel very lively.
Oh yes, exactly. Yeah. My favorite thing is all the different activities that we have at our community. I mean, literally most of our residents are, I would say, only in their apartments about 25% of the time. And then we just have so many different areas like our courtyard and our library, activities room.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, we can talk about the courtyard a little bit because I had a chance to go out there. It was a hot summer day, so we didn't stay a super long time, but I thought it was a well-intended spot. There was plenty of room for people to find their own little area if they didn't want to socialize that day, kind of reflect. But there are garden spaces built in, as I remember it, so that the residents can do their own gardening if they want
exactly.
to.
They can do their own gardening, and then they can choose, to get a view from whatever apartment they're in. They can place the garden, wherever they want. Now that it's starting to cool off as well, we're going to have a big fire pit during the wintertime months, so they can sit out at night and hang out or, do their exercises. And then, also a place for, if they have their dogs that they want to bring out to walk around, to give them a little.
Or when family comes to visit and the grandchildren can run around and play and all that kind of thing. The entryway when you come in, it feels very much like a resort. This is kind of your lobby area. But you mentioned the movie theater. It's lovely in there.
Our movie theater is my favorite part. So I'm also a big Tennessee fan. So we have the Tennessee game every Saturday that I host, an event in there. So we have all the residents come in there, and the Tennessee fans, and then also, the Tennessee haters as well come in. So we have.
You raise an interesting point, and that is that you host this event. So when people see you on TV, they might think, okay, he's just kind of there representing. But the truth is, you are there. You know the residents, and you're looking out for them too.
Oh, yes, ma'am. Before we do a lot of research before the residents actually come in. So I'm there from the very first day that they come into the building. I mean, I know all their family members, their grandkids' names, just everything that they like to do. We're more of a family than, just a assisted living community.
Right.
So we really, work on that.
One of the things that y'all do too, that I've been told anyway, is on the assisted living side of it. We'll talk memory care in a minute. But the hope is that people might come in, it's kind of a tiered system. So you might come in needing 4 or 5 things, someone to help you with. And then over time you get stronger and it's down to just 1 or 2.
Well, yep, exactly. Yeah, so a lot of residents, come in, maybe they had a recent fall or something like that, and maybe they're in a wheelchair to start out with. But we do have on-site physical therapy. So let's say they're there for 2 months, they switch from a wheelchair to a walker. 2 months later, they could switch to not even needing a walker at all.
Right. So on the memory care side of it, this is where I think it helps that spouses can stay together. If you've got one spouse who's struggling, the other spouse can still be there close by.
Yep, exactly. Yep, they can both. So we have a few residents that, like the wife would live in the assisted living side, and then her husband, could live in the memory care side. So, instead of her eating lunch in our restaurant-style dining room, she goes every day, to eat with her husband in our memory care dining room.
Only about a minute left. The dining room is an important point because the apartments, if you'll notice as you're looking at them, you don't really see a kitchen. That's intentional because you don't want people to retreat to their room too much. You want them to be out getting that socialization.
Well, yep, exactly. Yep, and with the all-day dining that we have, we have the certain residents that like to, come in. They have their groups. So let's say, a group of 6 will come in. They like to sit at their table at 12, and then the other group comes in, at 1. They like their own little spot as well. So.
Right. So if you're liking him on TV this morning, you can see him in person and shake his hand and get to know him when you go out to visit Rockbridge Oaks. They're right there on Palms Court, which is just kind of near East Brainerd Road and Concord Road, that area that takes you back towards the mall. If you want to call them, it's 558-2000. It's best, I think, if you can schedule the appointment, just so they can make sure they've got time carved out in their day to spend it with you.
Yep, definitely, yeah. And I know that it can be, daunting, trying to make a decision, and a lot of people, don't really know a lot about assisted living memory care. But I mean, you can just give me a call and come in and tour. You can come in and try a meal out with your loved one. Come in, do some activities, anything like that.
And see what it's like.
Exactly.
Thanks so much, Justin.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.